Breakfast in the lobby. I'm overdoing it a little. We are starting out at the Museum of Transportation, which yesterday I misspoke. I think I said when I camped out it was in the summer of 93. I think it was actually 92 because the summer of 93 flooded. I wouldn't have been able to camp there. So that was when I visited here, was in the summer of 92, I believe. And a lot has changed here. Wow. Here is the first building you come into. It's already pretty spectacular, and I think it's fairly dog friendly, but dogs are not allowed inside the buildings. But they say 80% of it is outside. One of the first things we look at is a Virgin Hyperloop Megalev. And I noticed down here there's a little thing for a camera. You got the F-18 Super Hornet. General Motors Aerotrain. Where are you going, Luke? I believe what did these in was that they were too lightweight and rough riding for American rails. Let's look at cars. That's pretty interesting. 1960 Didia. Yeah, try and get it without the glitter. 1957 Nash Metropolitan. Oh yeah, here's a preserved piece of the Coral Court Motel. Neato. 1951 Studebaker bullet nose. And I'm loving all the neon signs they have here. 1963 Chrysler Turbine. And it's got a jet engine, literally. The Corvette Stingray. My math teacher, Mr. Musgrave, had one of these. 1965. Where would we be without the Model T? 1927. Ooh, this is a Studebaker too. It's got the old wagon wheel Studebaker badge. 1919 Studebaker Special 6. Cool. And the 1957 Chevrolet. Again, love the neon. Juxtapositioned with the Chevrolets. 1923 Stanley Steamer with a steam boiler inside, which is different from the vacuum cleaner called the Stanley Steamer. Look at this lovely Route 66 display right next to the Coral Court. Here's a room dedicated to all cars manufactured in St. Louis. St. Louis car companies. Now we are on the train portion of our program. You can actually see this area when you ride the passenger trains. It's a wigwag. And here we have the big boy. Union Pacific 4006. Hey Luke, the engineer, point your head out. Who's going to drive this thing? The little boy is going to drive the big boy.
I'm tiny.
Where's
Where's the train? Or is that the horn thing?
It's just bricks and rocks.
The coal would come
From there.
out here. You can see there's a corkscrew would feed it underneath. Feed the fire.
Going this way.
Here's Luke, the engineer.
You can open that.
Next to the big boy is a Centennial, which was 2 diesel engines in one train. I believe that was a late 60s, early 70s concoction that didn't work too well because it was, that's what's going by. But it didn't work too well because they could just use 2 engines, and if one broke down, you didn't lose the whole locomotive. Things like that, and not very fuel efficient. We also have the rotary snowplow. If I'm not mistaken, this stuff may have been the equipment that sat at Dodson in Kansas City. I may have video of it from the early 90s, but don't quote me on that. I got everything lit up. This one says General Motors number 103 diesel electric locomotive. If I can talk. Here's a GE locomotive with the hood removed. Cutaway educational locomotive. Pretty cool. I just noticed the engine is cutaway too. There's the piston. Neato. And the camshaft, if I can get it. Here. Crankcase block. The Dinky rail motorboat bus. The CBNQ Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy E8. Neato. I believe that's my old friend Eagle picture of the Decapod that was being moved around in Smoky Hill in the early 90s. And right next to it is a Burlington early Streamliner.
No, what's blue? What? That is not blue. All of them. Red, green, yellow, blue.
Looking inside a chemical car.
Are you going up?
What's this?
Chemicals. Never been inside a chemical car. Interesting. Hope it's gotten rid of all the nasty stuff. I don't know. Then we can go through, what's this? Cabooses?
Mosquitoes are small exposed. Oh.
Oh, look at this. Can I touch it? I'm not going to touch it.
No, don't touch anything.
Can we go on the bed?
No,
This is what comes
no. There's your stove. Keep you warm and cook on. Yeah, we can keep on going. We better hurry up for this copyright gets us. Interesting.
I think it's been more than 14 seconds. Wow.
That is really
Well,
interesting. Did they have these
no,
in
not.
1996?
What?
It's a pretty neat little room. St. Charles, Missouri. That's Missouri's first state capital. I always loved this old building. I saw a marker over there on the riverfront, showed the line of where the flood of '93 crested. And it said thanks to all the community members and volunteers. And I'm like, it's funny, I was one of those people. I came out one night and helped sandbag at the peak of the flooding. Pretty much trying to save a trailer park from a busted levee. Looks like we found our lunch dinner spot. What do you call that? Lupper? Linner? Looks good. Cool place.
Oh, God!
Neat up.
I don't know. I went to the
I've got my mater soup. I'm happy. Mater soup. I got the Reuben. Nancy Ann has the catfish. Meow. That she's sharing with Luke. Saya has pasta shells and broccoli. And Zakium has the Big A burger, which is almost already gone.
try.
We can have one cake with ice cream and root beer float, which everybody's sharing. You're enjoying it. Now your phone is in the way. Saya, your big head's in the way. There we go. Saya's big head's in the way.
Hey, that's nasty.
We are sassified. That's a pretty building. I'm not sure, but I think when I first came here, about 1991 or so, they made all this into a pedestrian mall. And if I'm not mistaken, it was a really bad idea. It killed all the traffic and destroyed the business downtown. And it's a lot like what they tried in places like Atchison and elsewhere, you know. Back in the 60s and 70s, people thought malls were the big thing. Even to the point that some towns even completely flattened their downtown districts to build a shopping mall instead. Which was a horrible idea. Most towns that did that can never recover from that. I like the Katy Depot down there. Pretty neat.
Careful though, careful. Put it up.
Picture.
Come on. Just sitting there.
Here's a closer look at the MKT, Missouri, Kansas, Texas Railroad, or Katy Depot. Wabash Railroad, follow the flag. And the MKT, or Katy. Our last bit of strolling before we have to go back home.